usual gang of misfits and dope addicts are here.
Well, I'm pretty sure I can figure out why we played that song for an opening number. But in doing so, we here at the Radio from Hell show have foregone a number of songs we could have played. Miss, I guess.
We still have potty break on the way.
Bob Seger's birthday today.
You would have loved that.
No, we're not.
You know I hate
Yeah,
Bob Seger.
you would have
pretty much.
loved it if I opened with Bob Seger.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't even consider it when I
Thank
saw
you.
his name.
Thank you. I don't know why it is I detest Bob Seger.
I don't
Tat,
know.
those are strong words.
Yeah.
But I just don't care for him at all. It's Robbie McIntosh's birthday today from the Average White Band. Larry Steinbachek.
Hubachek?
Steinbachek. Bronski Beat.
Oh. Run away!
Chris Shiflett from the Foo Fighters.
That may come up later.
And Mark O'Donnell from Taking Back Sunday. All having birthdays on this day.
We could have done any of those.
Yeah, except Bob Seger.
Well, see, I mean, that's a great song.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Big Audio Dynamite,
Yes.
bottom line. Great band.
And it's tradition.
But I listened to the lyrics this time.
Yeah.
It's not about horse racing at all.
No.
It's about poverty.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
But Gina said
It's
for
a-
the Kentucky Derby, I should
Well,
play.
because the horses are on the track.
It's about the poverty that's caused by horse racing.
I think the horse racing angle is that you'll do anything to get out of poverty, and so that means maybe you'll bet on horses.
Maybe.
I think that's the only.
There's
Because as I'm looking at the lyrics, there's
nothing
nothing to do with horse racing.
no. Because I got listening to the lyrics, and I went, I don't think there's anything about horse racing
No,
in here.
but that's not the point.
And Gina believes that it's a tradition that we play that song.
It is.
Okay.
We play it every year for the Kentucky Derby. That's
do?
what a tradition is.
Well, then we're wrong. But I don't recall we've. I didn't
Yes.
go, oh, thank goodness we're following tradition. I didn't think that. I didn't feel that.
Well,
Don't you have to feel something if it's a
I
tradition?
felt it.
All right. Okay.
It's my Super Bowl.
Well, it was a hug and mess.
I know.
It was in the history of horse Kentucky Derby racing.
Never happened.
No, never has. Should have probably, but I don't know. I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
It's 3 minutes. You didn't have 3 minutes? It's a 3-minute race.
What?
I don't
You were
have 3
so
minutes. No, I don't have 3 minutes for horse racing.
I don't have
What?
3 minutes.
When was it? Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday?
Saturday?
What time Saturday?
Yeah, what time
I
Saturday?
don't know, like
What was race time exactly? When did they go to the post?
I
What time?
can't remember.
Okay, it's tradition that you forget
It's
that.
tradition.
Yeah,
So you didn't
Because
even,
it's all day.
I know.
It's all
For 3
It's all
minutes.
day for 3 minutes.
So you didn't watch it live?
On my phone, I did. I was working.
Well, so you could
I'm
tell
surprised
me.
you took a work event.
I know. See how dedicated I am?
So you could tell me approximately what time because you know you were at a work event and you watched
I
it
did.
on
I
your
didn't
phone.
watch it in real time. I was working. I had to watch it later.
I
on
see.
My phone.
I see. You know, it's a whole week of events. Really, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not just Derby Day.
No.
It's Derby week.
But now this has tainted the whole Triple Crown thing. It's all everything's all hugged up.
I'm really upset.
Is it Ski Wampus?
It is ski.
It's gone. No, I think it's cattywampus, isn't it?
It's
Is
some
it ski,
kind of wampus.
Is it ski or caddy? I don't.
Some kind. Well, we'll talk more about it coming up.
Oh, I hope so.
It's the biggest
I
sporting
hope so.
news of the weekend.
We have now spent more time on the Kentucky Derby than the race even lasted.
Yes.
Yeah, so there we go. So now we're going to officially begin the Radio from Hell show. What are you looking for, Carrie?
I am adjusting commercial breaks
I see.
and doing my job.
I thought you were looking for something. So we're going to take a break here and come back and officially begin the show. And there's a feeling in the room that maybe we would start check-ins again today. And so you would call 877-602-9696 to check in with the Radio from Hell show and tell us in 3 words or less why or why not you missed the check-ins, yes or no. If you didn't miss them, tell us in 3 words or less why. If you did miss them, tell us in 3
Yeah, we
words
don't
or
have
less
to
why.
keep 'em.
No.
Yeah.
But
We may just do it today and never do it again.
now we do have a prize for a random checker-inner at 877-602-9696, and that would be tickets to see the last podcast on the left show, which is
At the Eccles.
And when it is-
I don't
we don't have
that
the
yet.
info in front of us.
Few weeks.
It's at the Eccles Theater, and we've been talking about it. Last week we talked about it. So anyway, 877-602-9696. Check in with the Radio from Hell show.
May 19th.
Yes.
Thank you. And tell us if you missed check-ins, why? If you didn't miss them, why? All right? There we go.
Okay, let's get underway then. SaltLakeFilmSociety.org or SLFS.org if you're in a hurry.
Lots of good movies playing at the Salt Lake Film Society's theaters, the Broadway Theater and the Tower Theater. And they're almost always interesting movies, documentaries, independent films, and the Tower is really eclectic sometimes. They show a lot of very odd, off-the-wall horror films, for instance. And it's also where Sean Means got married, so to his lovely wife, Leslie. So the Tower Theater, and then the Broadway downtown here on the corner of State Street and Broadway.
That's my date night place.
They have, Gina goes there and waits for a date. They have a great snack bar at both places and just really terrific movies. Find out all about it and how you can help the Salt Lake Film Society, if you have a mind to, by going to slfs.org.
Hello, this is William Shatner, star of Rescue 911. I have friends who are currently suffering the personal agony of hair loss. Through them, I have learned the importance of investing in a high-quality wig or toupee. That is why, if I needed a hairpiece, I would visit
Carrie and Bill's Wig and Toupee Emporium.
Hi, we're Carrie and Bill, the Radio from Hell guys, and we're proud to be associated with Worldwide Celebrity Wigs and Toupees. It's the only non-surgical hair replacement center that offers toupees and wigs woven entirely from celebrities' hair.
Worldwide contracts to buy the hair of Hollywood's most hirsute celebrities. Then, when the stars get a haircut or die, Worldwide is on hand to harvest the hair. The hair is then woven into a versatile, lightweight, comfortable wig, personally cut, fit, and styled for you. Just listen to these satisfied customers.
I lost my hair and scalp in an unfortunate encounter with an industrial blender. It was unsightly, and my confidence was at an all-time low. But when Dinah Shore died, Worldwide made me a wig from Dinah's hair. Now I'm so full of confidence, I may just go after Burt Reynolds.
After years of working at the toxic waste dump in Tooele, I began to notice a loss of most of my head and body hair. I gave Worldwide a call. They replaced the hair on my head with a wig made from Randall Carlisle's Golden Locks. And as an added bonus, they threw in a half a pound of Ed Asner's body hair for free. Now I am so confident I may just go after Kimberly Perkins.
This is William Shatner again. Please don't suffer with the torment and embarrassment of hair loss. Just look in the phone book for my friends at
Carrie and Bill's Wig and Toupee Emporium.
Please don't delay. Beam yourself up a full head of hair today.
I just saw this There's pictures of Rod Stewart and his wife getting a cozy lunch date at the Subway near their Essex home. There's a picture of them sitting in the Subway. They ordered 2 6-inch subs.
Really? What beverage did they have, Gina? Did they have? I don't know if Subway is a Coke or a Pepsi venue. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Just
I hope they had a cola.
you don't think of Rod Stewart as.
I don't think of Rod Stewart. Period.
And he didn't wait in a car and send his wife in.
Why would he?
He's just sitting there.
Why would he? He's a chivalrous man.
If I'm really hungry, I stop by the Subway. Come on, honey, let's get some.
See?
Thank you.
I think that the question has been answered without even having to take a check-in call. At 877-602-9696. We were going to start check-ins again today and see how you like that, and have you answer the question in 3 words or less. Are did you miss the check-ins? If so, yes, or why? Or if you didn't miss them, don't want to do them, why not? But no one's calling.
Well, when you say 3 words or less could be no words, and that means you don't call. That could be 0 words.
Well, the point, though, is to call and put those words on the radio. But no one's calling, even for Last House on the Left.
Last podcast.
Last podcast on the left, taken from the movie Last House on the Left. Last podcast on the left tickets. So
we'll give them through starting the show to call.
Yeah, either the phone is broken or no one cares about check-ins anymore, so that's fine.
877-602-9696.
All right.
Starting the show brought to you by Health Insurance Should Be Personal. Quality care from award-winning hospitals and doctors. That's what you get with University of Utah Health Plans. Choose you.
The moon is a waxing crescent now, on its way to full, but just 2.9% of silver showing. The moon will be full again on May 18th, and it will rise today at 7:44 a.m. Today being Monday, it's the 6th day of May in the year of our Lord 2019, and this is North America's most robust radio broadcast. It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi. The producer of the Radio from Hell show is Katie, for short. And is it Chase?
Yes.
Chase is helping out today on the program. So now your check-ins. Well, someone has called, and I guess we'll see. And that would be the person who would get the last house, the last podcast on the left.
So far, anyway.
Yeah.
877-602-9696. Let's go to Dane.
Dane
is checking in.
Dane, in 3 words or less, did you or did you not miss the check-ins, and why?
I did. They're just kind of interesting.
They're kind of interesting. That's 3 words.
Okay.
They're kind of interesting. This not being an example of that, however.
Well,
No.
it's hard to be interesting in 3 words
Yeah,
or less.
yeah. Dane, you're the only one who's called, so we're going to give you tickets to see that podcast if you'd like them.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, hang on.
Hang on, Dane.
Get your information. Hang on. People are texting about the check-ins.
No, that's
No,
not how we
no.
check in.
Got a lot of texts and chat room check-ins.
Let me see if my dad texted me. No,
Yeah.
Dad, you up?
Even Tom.
Nope.
No.
That says a
Well,
lot.
Usually Dad will text in.
Maybe there's something going on in the valley that we don't know about.
Yeah, is it
Some emergency.
graduations?
Some-
or
I mean, yeah, it's
holiday?
Perhaps the most of the population has vanished.
The liquor store is closed today?
the rapture. Did we miss the rapture?
That's maybe what it is.
We missed the rapture.
We missed Cinco de Mayo.
We are left behind.
I know. We're the left behind. There
I'm
we go.
okay with that.
Yeah, me too. Well, their line 3 is ringing, but no one's answering it. so-
Well, it's because they're getting
She's talking to someone else.
Oh, she's getting the information.
getting Dane's information
Yeah,
to give
which
him
is
tickets.
which is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Well, Tim the Tree Guy's there.
Yeah, well,
Teacher Emily.
Tyler the Trash Man. It's all the greatest
All
hits.
the usuals.
Yeah. I met Gus, Garbage Gus. Yes.
Where did you meet Garbage
on,
Gus?
Saturday up in Ogden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
came
where
by.
he. That's where he
in that
has
area.
his route.
Yeah, and he came by, and
He says he drives by the old KJQ studios quite often.
I had somebody else up in the Ogden area tell me that as well. Well, she works on Gibson Avenue.
Oh, yeah?
In the box factory, in the box plant.
Box Factory.
Yeah.
All right. Nicole is checking.
Hi, Nicole.
Hello.
Hi.
Nicole, did you miss check-ins?
I do.
And 3 words or less, why?
Made me laugh.
Okay. Good enough.
Well, it's been a laugh riot so far, Nicole.
I love them because I work graveyards, and so when I start my day off with the check-ins, it makes a rough night easier in the morning. So
Are you just getting off work now?
I am.
Where do you work all night, if you don't mind saying?
I work in a skilled nursing facility in Brigham.
Ah, in Brigham City.
That's hard work.
That is. Do you live in Brigham City as well?
Nope, I live in Ogden.
All right. Well, thanks for checking in with us, Nicole.
All right.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
I don't think there was anything in these check-ins that would have made Nicole laugh, but she was laughing anyway. You notice that? I think she just laughs.
Some people do that.
So
people miss Chicken. What's his name? Chicken Rob.
Chicken Rob.
Chicken Rob.
Yeah, Chicken Rob.
Chicken
Yeah.
Rob,
It's
where
been so
are
long
ya?
I forgot his name.
Because we didn't hear from him over the winter because you're not really dealing with the chickens in the winter.
what? You just leave the chickens alone? You have to deal with chickens in the winter. What do you think? You think that they just go to sleep and then
They
wake
hibernate,
up?
don't they?
Yeah, they hibernate. That's right, Gina. Chickens hibernate and wake up in the spring. Just
They tuck their beak under
That's
their,
exactly-
under their wing.
yeah.
And they,
For 6 months.
Yeah, that's why they have to get a lot of eggs and you store them.
That's why we don't have eggs in the winter.
Yeah, unless you get some of those old eggs
Yeah.
that have
you,
been in
well, you
storage.
freeze them, don't
You
you?
freeze them. That's it. Yeah, you freeze the eggs.
Because the chickens are all hibernating.
You freeze your eggs.
They've all come home to roost and then hibernate.
Okay, 4th South is closed westbound between State and Main Streets due to tracks construction. So that's not an incident necessarily. It's just a kind of an ongoing situation. So find an alternate route if that's the way you usually go. That's the only thing that UDOT is telling me so far this morning, unless you see something you want to share. Oh, by the way, I got an email of interest about asking people to text in traffic.
Oh?
Okay.
From a friend of the program who says I shouldn't ask people to text in traffic. So when I'm asking you to text in traffic, if you're voice to text while you're driving, I think that's okay, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Now I'm feeling bad for asking people to text
don't.
in
I think
traffic.
we have to depend on people to take care of their own texting or not texting.
When it comes to mortgage lending, call Rick at Vintage Lending. Where else are you going to go? 16 years experience. Call Rick 801-809-SAVE or go to loansbyrick.com.
All right. Thank you very much. We will take a break. We will be back. Big boy news, Opinioendo. Sports with Amy Donaldson coming up. Stand by for that. Maybe she can explain the whole Kentucky Derby thing. And more. Round one of your boners coming up as well. Berries.com. Click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner and enter the code X96 to make sure you get this deal for Mother's Day I'm about to tell you about. Of course, Sherry's Berries, they do a big push for Mother's Day because, well, moms love the gourmet goodies.
I'm a mom, and I like the gourmet goodies.
And it's not just the strawberries at berries.com. They have all kinds of desserts. So go and take a look at it. They've got a special Mother's Day berries package designed just for mom. Momly, yes, but I like it too. Let me just say that. Topped with chocolate chips, pink shimmer sugar, and swizzles. These things are really delicious. We wolfed them down all in one night on a weekend. Choose your delivery date and ensures mom gets your gift of Sherry's Berries exactly when you want her to, and your satisfaction is always guaranteed. Don't wait until the last minute on this one. Visit berries.com, order freshly dipped strawberries starting at $19.99 for the moms in your life. And to make mom really happy, you can double the berries for just $10 more. That's what I'd do. Mother's Day, Sunday, May 12th. Oh, that's soon. So visit berries.com. That's BERRIES.com. Click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner. Enter the code X96. That's berries.com. Click on the microphone and the code X96.
Carrie.
God. God. Spell it with me now. G-O-D. Like you wouldn't know that already. Anyway, we'll use the word God in a bit of conversation between our two Utah buddies, LeVar and LeGrand. The boys are at Lagoon attending LeGrand Ardun's family reunion. Again, the word is God.
Glad you could come to Lagoon for my family reunion, LeVar.
Well, it's nice of you to invite me, LeGrand. I don't have no family of my own. Come to think of it, I don't have a last name. The Dunn clan sure is numerous, though.
Well, it's fine old polygamous stock, LeVar.
Your granddad had more than one wife?
10. That ain't nothing. My actual dad, he had 3 wives, too.
Well, how come you never had more than one wife?
Well, I tried, believe me, I tried. I wanted to marry more girls than Midge, but I just couldn't seem to interest none of them. Besides, Midge said she wasn't really for it. Said there wasn't enough man in me to go around, whatever that means.
Hey, listen, which ride you want to go on before the kids find us again?
Well, let's go on the Sky Ride from the north end of the park so as we can look down to Bountiful. I want to see if I can see the new temple up on the hill there.
You can see it for a long ways. I was driving down from Ogden, up there cruising for stuff at the DI. You know, that's a really good DI up there. Anywho, you can see that Bountiful temple from Cherry Hill on the old highway, but then you lose sight of it when you drop down here by Lagoon.
Well, I've actually drove up to it. Drove around that temple and such.
Well, how'd you get there?
Just drove down I-15 and then got off at the Bountiful exit and then headed east.
Just got off at the main Bountiful exit, huh?
Yep. Hey, you know what I need right now?
What's that?
Need me a slush puppy. It's god awful hot out of here all of a sudden.
Sure has. And nothing will cool you off like a slush puppy.
They got all the flavors?
Yep, they got the blue, the red flavor, the green flavor, and the most cooling flavor of them all. Yeller.
Got 'em all, huh?
Got 'em all.
All right, sports with Amy Donaldson coming up here in about 10 minutes. But right now, big boy news and a Pinuendo brought to you by.
Celebrate the 150th anniversary of the connection of the Transcontinental Railroad, May 9th through 11th at Ogden's Union Station and historic 25th Street. Details at visitogden.com.
Well, one of the big celebrity stories of the day seems to be, and I base this just on listening to national news sources all morning while I was preparing.
You mean the fake news?
Yeah, the fake news.
All right.
The big celebrity story for some reason seems to be Adam Sandler returning to Saturday Night Live after 25 years, and after he was fired, I guess. I didn't realize he'd been fired from Saturday Night Live.
Get out, they said.
Yeah, back in the day.
I always tell them how SNL was the greatest time of my life, and my daughter asked me if it was the greatest, Dad, then why did you leave? Well, honey, there's a reason. I was fired. I was fired. I was fired, so sad to tell. Well, I never saw it coming. I got fired from SNL. Between seasons, I heard a nasty rumor that I was getting the sack. I tried to call Lorne Michaels, but he never called me back. I'm joking. He called me. I guess.
And then Chris Rock shows up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And sings a chorus of
Because he got
I was
fired.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Maybe they were sick of Canteen Boy.
I was.
But I think they just hate the Jews. I was fired.
Anyway.
Yeah. He sang a lot on the show, apparently.
There
and
was
then at
some-
the end, he did a song about Chris Farley.
Which
that
was sweet.
apparently very touching.
But it made me think that when you remember Adam Sandler fondly from SNL, maybe who you're remembering fondly is Chris Farley, because
Yeah.
I don't
he was
remember.
the funny. He was the funny part of all. Those
I don't remember
sketches.
Adam Sandler fondly at all because he did an Opera Man bit on this show, and I hate that. It was awful. Or he'd come on and do I'm Crazy Pickle Man, and it's just okay, fine.
Well, I thought that the family reunion sketch was the
didn't see
most
that.
the most telling. It was the Sandler family reunion, and it was all of his characters. The idea being he stole these ideas from his family members. You know? And I'm watching the sketch, and the majority of it is.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, so that's the summation of his time on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Is mumbling.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. Now that's something that was sort of interesting to wake up to, but also not interesting to wake up to, scary to wake up to. The United States has dispatched an aircraft carrier and other military resources to send a message to Iran and to distract people from what's going on in this country.
Exactly.
John Bolton
followed
desperately wants a war.
Clear indications that Iranian proxy forces were preparing to possibly attack U.S. forces in the region, according to a defense official.
Things had calmed down there a bit.
Yeah.
We came up with that, sanctions and
The official who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive information said the Pentagon approved the deployments and that U.S. forces at sea and on land were thought to be potential targets. The official declined to be more specific because there probably weren't more specifics.
Operation Shiny Keys commences.
Yeah, White House National Security Advisor and, oh man, do I want to fight somebody, John Bolton, said in a statement Sunday night that the U.S. is deploying the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group and a bomber task force to the U.S. Central Command region, an area that includes the Middle East. The move in response to what he characterized as a number of troubling and escalatory indications and warnings.
Who started that?
Again, no details provided. The United States is not seeking war with the Iranian regime.
Really?
But we are fully prepared to respond to any attack, whether by proxy, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or Iranian forces, he said. I would be mightily surprised if whatever army they have in Iran decided to attack American forces.
They won't.
That wouldn't happen. At least 40 people now counted dead in a fiery plane crash in Russia. The Aeroflot airliner burst into flames while making an emergency landing at Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport on Sunday evening. The plane, operated by the national airline Aeroflot, had 73 passengers, 5 crew members on board when it touched down, and sped down the runway spewing huge flames and black smoke. I saw some of that video, and I think it's amazing that anyone survived, but 40 people out of the 73 were killed in the crash.
I guess these planes have a history of safety problems.
I don't know. I'm not going to go into this story very much because I'm unsure of the details, but I'll let you look it up for yourselves. This is reported by Vice News that what they refer to as the Mormon Church throughout the entire article, not calling it the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo.
Probably not. They talk about a victim's hotline that the church had set up being used to hide claims of sexual abuse. That there are sexual abuse stories that perhaps very similar to what's been going on in the Catholic Church that are covered up, that have been covered up by people in the church. And there are some specifics in the story, and I'll let you read those for yourself. They're pretty graphic. But if you look up this Vice News, I did a Van Oker group last week, and I believe it is out now. And there is a woman on there named Kaz Veda. You know who she is. Mm-hmm. She talks a little bit about this herself on the podcast and says it's very hard for anybody to bring it forth to report on it. She said it's just people are worried about reporting on it, and are.
The Deseret News has a story on it too. Did you see that?
I didn't look at the Deseret News today, I guess I did, but briefly. But Vice, this is quite a long story, and I guess I'll look at the Deseret News story, and maybe we'll bring you some details.
It's the church's comment on the Vice's story.
Oh, is it? What do they say?
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't read it.
All right. In other news, how much time do we have here, Kerry?
About 3-4 minutes.
Okay. I found this story interesting for the first time in a long time. This guy's been in and out of the news forever. Rick Korber. It's been 10 years since federal prosecution first slapped this real estate investment guru with an indictment alleging that he ran a Ponzi scheme and defrauded everyone around him while he enjoyed a lavish lifestyle. After a torturous path of dropped charges and a hung jury, finally a conviction last fall, it was supposed to end this week, as Korber would be sentenced for fraud, wire fraud, and money laundering. But there's another delay. It's being delayed for a third time since the Utah County real estate investor was found guilty of 15 charges last September. The number of victims and amount of money scammed is now in dispute. Prosecutors said that he had scammed up to $45 million from investors using the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, as his membership in that church as a way of getting to these people and getting them to invest. Now his defense attorney said those figures are not accurate. They're way overblown, and we think that might have some effect on his sentencing. So let's look at this again. But as I was reading the story, it talked about his lifestyle and how he lived while he was at the height of his Ponzi scheming, and it said that he invested in a sexy horror movie. But it didn't say what it was in this story. So I looked a little bit, and the movie he invested in was a Richard Dutcher movie called Evil Angel, and he invested $5 million in it because he wanted to make more money. They hoped that the movie would make more money so that he could make a movie about Joseph Smith, which I think is pretty interesting.
So many things I want to say here, but I'll just back away. My attorney is advising me to back
I've seen some of that movie. Ving Rhames is in that movie.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's pretty.
Remember, he brought Ving Rhames' mask into our. We have a picture of it on our Facebook page from a million years ago. He brought the Ving Rhames mask.
Yeah, I'd forgotten. And so apparently this was the movie that Korber invested in. And he also, by the way, it said in the story in the Salt Lake Tribune, He also had his own gold coins minted, which I thought was interesting. It minted his own gold coins.
Well, don't you want your own gold coins?
I don't. No, actually, no. Louis C.K. is out on tour again.
Yeah, he needs to just go
And
away.
he's issuing stern copyright notices to prevent reporting on his stand-up shows.
I thought you might make this a boner.
Not only does he make people, put their phones in a bag or something at the beginning of the show, he's threatening if you tell any of his jokes, repeat anything about the show, he'll sue you.
Like if you go out and go, Louis C.K. was so funny, he told this joke here, I'll tell you the joke he did. You can't do that.
You can't do that. Any use of the materials without the express prior written consent of Louis C.K. is strictly prohibited. People are not responding well to Mr. C.K.
People should not go to the show.
The internet sort of had at him this weekend.
But they will, because they're curious as to what he's doing and how he's handling all of it. They'll go.
All right.
All right, that's it.
Weather traffic.
Hoops Vision makes sure nothing gets between you and your life focus, exceeding expectations in every way. Call 877-30-LASIK or hoopsvision.com. Could be really warm today, actually. Highs in the upper 70s. Slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. We'll have more of a chance of rain tomorrow, I guess. And traffic is looking pretty good this morning so far. The only thing I need to tell you about is a crash southbound I-15, 200 north in Davis County off to the right shoulder. Oh, and also 4 South is closed westbound between State and Maine. They're doing some tracks construction there, so avoid that area also.
All right.
That's traffic.
Thank you very much. Is sports sponsored, Gina?
Brought to you by Rio Grande Concert Series at the Gateway this Thursday with Ugly Boys, live music, food trucks, craft beer from Salt Flats Brewery and Cocktails. It's free to the public. Details at shopthegateway.com.
Amy Donaldson Sports. Break.
Well, here she is now, Amy Donaldson, with a friend. Who's your friend?
This is Peanut.
Peanut!
He's fresh off a flight from New Mexico.
Is
I
that
think
why
we
he's-
had some friends of the program adopt somebody through Rescue Rovers. Same flight.
That's where we got Hudson. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a high kill state.
It is.
Put a lot of dogs down. So
Peanut is a peanut.
he is a cutie.
He's like a very nice dog.
He's
Yes.
going to the
Sweet
vet. That's
dog.
why he had to come with me.
Ah.
He's gonna be neutered today.
Oh,
When's this big pet adoption
Yes,
thing
that's
happening?
the other reason I brought him. May 17th and 18th at the Utah State Fairgrounds. All the rescues, all the shelters. There'll be hundreds of dogs. If you're thinking of getting a dog, I would recommend going. We're bringing all the dogs in from rural communities, from out of state.
You have
Anybody-
several dozen at your house, don't you?
Pretty close.
Can I
We're
pick
working on
Peanut
it.
up and show him
Sure,
to the camera?
He's-
Does Peanut
If
he might be
Peanut
this-
will allow it.
He might be the sweetest foster I've had. He's already got 2 applications and he's not even eligible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So he will never be on our website.
Go to
but-
x96.com/live. We're having a little trouble with
There
the
he
cameras.
is, right in front of the
You'll
flags.
have to get into the frame there.
Yeah, he's
There
a
we
little
go.
healer mix. We've got a lot of dogs like this right now at cause.org. But they're
he's a sweet peanut.
He's had a
He is.
he's a peanut, Gina, not a pea, not a sweet pea. He's a peanut.
he was
This is a
severe
nice
neglect case right there.
Yeah,
So-
you can tell he's had
How
a hard
could you
time.
neglect this? Oh,
He's-
he's a doll.
He's had a hard time. You can see it in the way
Yeah.
he looks. And,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
eyes are kind of sad and scared.
I've had
He's
him
a
about
love.
a week, so he'll come into his own, I think. But yeah,
Sure.
he is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
In sports, though,
yeah.
speaking of animals, Kentucky
Yes.
Derby.
All right, what happened? I only read.
Well, the thing that's interesting, this kind of disqualification happens a lot in horse racing.
See, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about horse racing.
I know very little.
Trump came out and said that this was a bad decision, and I immediately said, then
But-
they did the right thing, didn't they?
But Kerry, he also spelled Kentucky wrong.
Well, that
okay?
too. But I expect that.
There are 50 states he has to keep track
True,
of.
true,
How could
true,
he
true.
possibly know how to spell?
Did he spell it with a C?
No, he
Just a
forgot
K.
the C.
Only a K.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's only the second time they've had a
So,
disqualification.
so the winner
Yeah.
was accused of
Maximum security.
maximum security.
Essentially cutting another horse off.
So you have to keep a straight line,
Uh-huh.
and you can't impede the progress of another horse. So like, if somebody's gonna, it's like when you were a kid and you were racing your brother, and he tried to go in front of you or shoulder you so
And
that
if
you
you-
couldn't pass him.
Oh, I see.
That's
what-
essentially a very mild case, but it is. It did
Okay.
impede several horses, and so it was a unanimous decision to move him back behind the last horse whose who he threw off their gate.
Oh.
And it wasn't on like the jockey didn't do it on purpose. The horse spooked.
Actually, I thought they said he switched leads. Like which horses? If you've ever been on a horse, Gina has ridden a horse.
You can feel the difference.
Oh
when
yeah,
that happens.
it's a bumpy. It's a am I getting to get a rodeo here or what's happening? It's not. It's not a good thing.
You want to when you're going around the track. You want. I won't try to explain.
You want them to stick with whatever foot they started with.
Oh, okay.
But the interesting thing is, I think he would have won anyway. He's the only horse at the end of the race that didn't have mud all over him because he was in front. Every other horse was covered in mud.
The one they declared the winner, or the
one that was disqualified. Maximum security.
He's a mudder, Jerry.
He was disqualified second time. I think the last time was in 1968, and that horse was accused of doping or found to be doping. So this is the first time they've disqualified for this type of infraction. But that means Country House is your 2019 champion.
62 to 1 odds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some people made out.
I hope.
And then we also have the NBA playoffs occurring right now. So
how's that going?
It's going well. I think the Western, especially the Portland-Denver series, tied at 2-2 right now. They play again tomorrow. That's a really interesting.
I guess people are surprised Denver is doing so well.
Denver's doing great, and Cantor's playing for Denver now. And there's a really great article in the New York Times, which I shared at x96.com, on him observing Ramadan while trying to play in the playoffs.
That means he has to fast. And
not just that, no water.
No water.
Oh.
Don't know how you can
I
do
think
that.
it's like 16 hours. Is it?
It's daylight.
Oh, daylight. Okay.
During
so,
daylight hours.
Yeah. So it's a long, he drinks as much as he can. And he said when he first started this, he was like 16 years old as a pro. And he's playing against 30, 35-year-old players. And he would drink so much water once his fast was broken that he almost didn't have room to eat. So it's an interesting, and I think it's a really great story.
There are a lot of soccer players that deal with this too.
Yeah, any sport that's really an international sport. Golden State leads Houston 2-1, and they play tonight. In the Eastern Conference, Milwaukee leads Boston 2-1. They play tonight. And Toronto and Philadelphia are tied 2-2, and they play tomorrow.
Just to go back to that fasting thing, didn't Steve Young have to do that when he was the quarterback of the 49ers?
Yeah,
a fast Sunday.
He's a Muslim.
Once a month.
Oh.
No, fast Sunday once a month. You know.
Yeah,
Didn't he have to?
They don't do no water though.
No, but they don't.
I was told I couldn't have a breath mint.
You can't have anything to eat from the time you get up until dinner.
It's best if you don't have a breath mint, because the sugar just activates everything and makes you hungry.
Yeah.
Listen, Carrie, if I don't eat, I'm definitely having a breath mint. I don't care what my religion says. RSL, they lost to Portland 2-1. And on the flip side, at Friday night, the Utah Royals won a thriller. They scored Amy Rodriguez scored a goal in the 84th minute. That gave them a 1-0 win over the Chicago Red Stars.
Oh, cool.
Utah Warriors rugby lost, and the BYU women's rugby team national champions on Saturday.
Really?
Nice.
The only place, I think there's a web story about it somewhere. It's very disappointing that they win a national championship and we don't have a story about it anywhere.
Well,
in the local media.
but it's a national championship in rugby. That's the reason.
It's a national championship, and it is in rugby. I think that's great.
But
yeah.
it's a sport that
It's an
only
Olympic
a
sport.
small. It's a sport that only a small percentage of people follow.
It's actually growing as
if
much
it-
or more in women's.
When it gets a little bigger, maybe they'll do a story on it.
Bill's in charge of this.
I'm
No,
just
I
saying.
say we cover. If you win a national championship in pinball, I think we should write about it. We write about national championships in arm wrestling. Come on.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I
opinion.
suspect it's not about the rugby part.
I suspect you're right.
It's boobs, isn't it?
I think it's
the
boobs. I think it's boobs.
National championships.
Yeah, you'd think that would be more of a reason to cover it.
You would think.
I would think.
Boobs should
but
raise it to another level.
Especially
Boobs
since most
always
sports
raise-
writers are men, you know?
Yes,
I
right?
was just going to say, I think you can attest to that.
It was rugby and there were boobs.
As far as I'm concerned, boobs always raise things to another level.
That's what I think.
You'll always get coverage from Bill if those are included.
Yes. Is there boobs in the story? Okay, I'm on it.
Well, make sure you mention this again in the next sports report.
I
Gina.
will.
All right.
Amy actually sent us a list of these stories that she's covered today.
And it's
I
all
will-
at x96.com.
I'll recap them later.
Thank you
You
very
can
much.
follow me on Twitter if you want to see cute dogs.
Oh
AD on
my
Sports.
gosh, Peanut is the cutest.
Well behaved, too.
I know. He's like an
Sweetheart.
ace.
Whoever
Great
gets
stuff.
peanut scored.
He's got 2 cute families.
I have a peanut allergy. Sorry.
Crash southbound I-15 at 200 North in Davis County. And 4 South closed westbound between State and Maine. This is due to construction they're doing on tracks. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you very much. We will take a break. We will be back. Round one of your boners coming up. Stand by for all of that. Bill Frost talking TV as well. Let's see. Proflowers.com. Click on the microphone. Enter the code X96 right there, and that's make sure that you get the deal I'm going to tell you about here in a minute. The great thing about ProFlowers is they've got this home delivery thing figured out. Everything you need comes in that box. Well, you might need some scissors to cut the end of the stems and the water, but other than that, you've got that in your house or your office or wherever it is you're sending the flowers to. I got a multicolor bouquet of roses that I've had on my counter now for, let's see, it's 3 weeks. Yeah, just starting to go. So I'll probably throw them out tomorrow. But they last long if you follow the directions that they give you. Yeah, there's directions in the box as well. Carefully packaging your flowers, delivering them fresh from the farm. Express delivery means mom's flowers will stay fresh. Yes, we're heading down the Mother's Day road. Right now you can get 1 dozen assorted roses. This is the ones that I got for $19.99. Better, double the roses, get a premium vase for just $9.99 more. So go to proflowers.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and enter the code X96. That makes sure that you get this deal and that we get the credit. Thank you. Proflowers.com, click on the microphone and the code X96. Mother's Day is May 12th, so don't wait. Order like a pro and get this amazing rose deal to thank all the moms in your life.
The biggest party in Salt Lake City is back. Broadway Media, Live Night Events, and the Gallivan Center present Toyota's Salt City Sounds, featuring cheat codes.
Promise me no promises.
Blue October.
I wanna swim away, but don't know how. Hate me today.
Common.
There is a light that shines just for you and me.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Lit the medicinal. Plastic, give it go. Backwoods with the snow. Celebrate.
Ex-Ambassadors.